Hello everyone, myself Priyavrat and welcome to our YouTube channel Helpful Techniques. So in this video we'll be discussing about the TCS technical interview questions and answers 2022. So these are the frequently asked TCS technical interview questions for the NQT and also for the digital profile. And also in this video we have discussed about few tips and tricks on how to prepare for the interview. So it's a complete package. So before discussing further, if you are new to our YouTube channel, then please subscribe so that you'll be able to get the timely updates regarding latest off campus and also about the interview tips and tricks. And also we make videos regarding the latest technologies. Like free of cost, you can watch the videos and you can learn about the new technologies. And before discussing further, here we'll be discussing one to two tips here. But in our last video, we have already discussed about the 8 pro tips on how to prepare or how to crack the TCS interview. So we have discussed about some do and don'ts during the interview, because as a fresher you will definitely commit some mistakes during the interview. So you must watch the video or our previous video in order to learn what are the things you should not do during the interview, so that it will be like you will be able to create the some good impression during the interview. So it's a 3-minute video, so I'll be putting the link to our previous video in the description of this video, so that you can watch the previous video and you can learn what are the things you should not do during your interview, right? So now the first point I just wanted to highlight here is the prepare according to your resume. So whatever the things you have mentioned in your resume, prepare accordingly. That means project, if you have mentioned this is my last year project or the last or the recent project or the current project, so prepare accordingly. From that only they will be asking, because you are a fresher or the fresh graduate. And for TCS they ask generally what the things whatever you have mentioned in your resume, and also what are the technologies you have mentioned in your resume. Don't try to like overfill your like resume with some more extra certifications or the projects or the technologies. If you don't know anything, then don't put all these things, because it will create some more expectation from you, but you will not be able to fulfill, right? So it's not a good thing. And the second thing I wanted to tell you, select one or two subjects related to your branch and prepare well, because during the interview they will be asking from which topic or the subject they will question you. Like for what are the topics you have prepared for the interview. So you can pick one to two subjects, otherwise they will be asking you some of the random questions. For mechanical engineering background, you can mention that for solid mechanics I have prepared, or the thermodynamics I have prepared well accordingly, or the IC engine I prepared. So accordingly they will be asking you the questions. It will be easier for you to answer to these questions. So here I have written the Java questions and answers, and for the Python also I mentioned, and the SQL, and also for the front end. That means complete package or the questions we'll be discussing here. So I'm requesting all of you to watch this video till the end. I will try to cover all these questions or the answers in this video. So first we'll be discussing about the Java interview questions. So the first question is what is the major difference between C and Java? So this is the first question. They most of the time they ask you. So as you know, there are many differences are there. So the first difference is C doesn't support the object oriented programming, but Java supports. That means inheritance, multi encapsulation, and the polymorphism. You can explain one by one, and also you can tell them that the C does not support the exception handling, but Java does support, right? And also Java is platform independent, but C is not platform independent. What do you mean by platform independence? Later we'll be discussing in the next video, next question or the second question. So there are many differences are there. You can minimum you can put the examples or the difference of five numbers of difference you can put. It's more than enough. So what do you mean by platform dependence? For example, C is not platform independent, it's platform dependent. That means in C, like in I'm using Unix or the Ubuntu, and I have written some C codes. And if I am trying to execute the C code in some other platform, then it will not support, it will throw errors. It is not possible. But in Java it is possible, because here we are using the intermediate level language. That means from the Java or the human readable codes to the intermediate level code, then we are converting into the machine level code. So by the help of this intermediate level code, we can simply go there, and in other platforms you can, or other operating systems you can run the codes without doing the changes to the code, right? This is the platform independence, and it's a very good thing. Like it is key specification, or you can say key characteristic of Java. So can we create the object without having class? So class is just a blueprint. Without having class, we cannot create the object of any class or something, because class is something, you can see say that the class holds everything, and I'm just creating a copy of something and I'm just using it. So without having class, I cannot use object. So what do we mean by constructor? So constructor just defines the specification of a class, like it's just a specification to the class. So it's say, you can say the structure of the constructor is same as the function. You can pass the types, or the what are the what are the parameters it takes, or what are the inputs it takes, and you can define. So syntax is there in the internet, you can search and you can write. The difference between the method overloading and the method overriding, and definitely this question you are going to face in the interview. So let me give you the example. I have written one example here, so let me explain it to you. So this is the example for the method overriding. So let me explain the example to you first, then we'll be moving to the definition part, because it will be easier for you, right? So here I have written one class, class A, and inside this class I have one function operation and integer A and B. These are the arguments I am passing, and written A plus B. Just simply I am adding the two numbers. And here class B extends to the class A. That means I this is the child class, and class A is the parent class. And again inside this class B I have one another function operation, that means same as the parent class, and integer B, the same arguments it takes. But here it returns a minus B. That means I'm just subtracting it, right? Here, right? So here in the case of method overriding, the method name should be same, and also the signature or the data type or the arguments whatever it takes should be same. So let me give you an example or the real life scenario. Suppose I have just written this production level code here. That means I have developed a product here, or the project here. So here there are many child classes are there, class C, class D, class E, and and all classes, or the all the child classes are extending to one class, or the parent class A, right? So by the help of extending, I'm just using the operation method here, like inside the child class, without creating any method in the child class. Just I'm simply extending, and I'm using the operation method inside my child class. Suddenly one more requirement arises, that I need to change it to the a minus b. That means the operation function must operate or the perform a minus b subtraction, it must perform, but without changing the parent class part. That means without changing the method which is there in the parent class, no needs to be no need to be like changed, only the child class method needs to be changed. So in this case I can override this method. That means the method present inside this parent class needs to be overridden, like by the help of this new method, sorry. So this is the use of method overriding. So without impacting to the method which is there in the parent class, I am just changing the functionality of the method which is present in the child class. So this is the use of the method overriding in the real time situation. And the second thing is the method overloading. So in case of method overloading, the method signature or the method name should be same, and inside that I can pass any argument or the parameter. So number of parameter also be can be changed, like I am passing integer c also, it is also possible. N number of arguments I can pass inside this function. But in case of method overriding, everything needs to be same, only the functionality needs to be different. and here I am passing return a plus b. Suppose I am taking a equal to 5 and b equal to 5, so here it will be 10, but here in this child class it will be 5 plus 5 equal to 10.0 because it's of double type, right? So this is the difference between method overloading. So in case of method overloading, the function name should be same, but the signature can be different, right? So these are the difference between method overloading and method overriding. So I hope it is clear to you, because it's a very easy thing, but people get confused with the like naming and all, like what is method overloading and writing. So I'm just writing something, like I'm just replacing, right? These are difference. So yeah. So what do you mean without having the class, and what do you mean a constructor, and what do you mean by OOPS concept? Like it's a object oriented programming. Everything we consider as a object. So in the OOPS concept, there are three properties generally. One is inheritance, and the encapsulation and the polymorphism. One by one, you can explain why inheritance is so important. So only one time we need to write the code, and n number of times we can implement it by simply extending it to the parent class. That means n number of child classes we can have, and simply we can use the class later. And what do we mean by the runtime polymorphism and the compile time polymorphism? So this question will definitely face. So the example of the compile time polymorphism is the method overloading. So let me tell you or give you an example. So it's a tree. People can get confused. So compile time means during compile time only we are deciding which method needs to be called. So if you remember in this example, method overloading and the method overriding, we saw that in case of method overloading we are having two functions, but the signature is different. Like I am passing different types of arguments here. So during compile time only I am deciding which function needs to be called, but in case of runtime polymorphism, compilation is done, and while the program gets executed, at that time only I am deciding which function needs to be called. Like compilation is done, during runtime only I am deciding which function needs to be called. So this happens in case of method overriding, because the function names are same, so compilation is done. But whenever I encounter this kind of thing, then only I am deciding, like, yes, this function needs to be called. So there are difference between the method of this compile time polymorphism and the runtime polymorphism. People get confused and they make mistakes, but this is the trick I have shared with you. So just remember the definition of what is the compilation and what is the runtime environment or running, right? Type of access specifiers in Java. So there are many access specifiers are there, or the modifiers are there. So one is the default, and there is the private and protected. These are the like access specifiers in the internet. You can check, and the definition is there, and you can understand one by one. And difference between break and continue. So let me give you an example here. So suppose I am inside this for loop, I equal to 1 and I plus plus, and I up to 10. I am just doing the running the loop, and inside this I am doing some operations, and here suddenly I used a break here. So that means I am at iteration 5 here. Suddenly I used brake. So whenever you are putting brake to your like bike and something, after going some distance, traveling some distance, 1 meter or something, it stops, right? So if I am using brake, and at this current execution, the current execution will be execute terminated, and it will return the execution. That means what will be the output? 1 2 3 4 5, up to 5 iteration the output will be executed or will be displayed to you. In case of continue, if the current iteration is 5, then it will skip the 5 part, and then it will go to the this for loop, and again it will run to the move to the sixth iteration. That means it will not go outside the full execution, it will just skip the current execution, right? So this is the difference between break and continue. So in case of continue, the output or the iteration should be 1 2 3 4, then 6 7 8 9 10, right? So there are a difference between break and continue. I hope it's clear. It's a easy part or easy question. I hope by the help of this example I was able to clear your doubt or the misconception or the confusion. Then, what do you mean by typecasting in Java? So by the help of typecasting, I am just simply converting the data type of a variable to some other data type. That means I can convert the data type of integer to the double, so and so, right? Is it possible to do dynamic assignment in Java? It is not possible. So let me give you an example. Then you'll be able to understand what do you mean by dynamic assignment in Java or dynamic concept assignment concept. Suppose here I am using a variable a equal to uh, my pen is not working, mouse pad. Yeah, so here I am passing a equal to 10. Here later in my program or the code I am using a equal to, or I am reassigning a equal to xyz, like something like this I am reassigning. So in Java it is not possible because I am just changing the data type from the integer to the string. It is not possible, or the string or character, right? It is not possible, but in case of Python it is possible. So these are basic difference or the major difference between C and Java and Python, because it's a huge difference. Because dynamically I am changing the data type, it's a very good thing, right? No need to do the typecasting and all. So, can we have the multiple inheritance in Java? It is not possible. It leads to the diamond shape problem. Why do you use polymorphism? One person, many forms. These are different. These are the like basic example. What do you mean by encapsulation? Just I am simply hiding or protecting to the major part of my code, and we can use the getter setter to access to the specific part. This is called the encapsulation, encapsulating or hiding something from other people or so that it will not be misused, right? How to use multi-threading? So we can use the multi-threading so that we can achieve the multitasking. It is generally used for the multitasking purpose, and you can use start and you can extend to that thread class, and you can use the start to start the threads. What do you mean by static variable and static method? Static variable is used when you want the copy of a specific variable to be passed or the circulated to the other methods or something. This is just a global copy of something, and static method is same. And why object files are used? It's a easy thing. And what is the use of final keyword? So whenever you are getting any kind of exception, and if you want a important thing or the task needs to be executed, at that time you can use final, so that after even if you are facing any exception during executing your code, then also you will be able to execute the that major part of your code. So that's why we use final, so that finally it will be executed irrespective of the exception if you are getting. What is the difference between throw and throws? So generally throw is used when you are trying to throw the you are handling something, and then again you are just trying to replicate the exception to the other part or the other methods. But in case of throws, it is we are just simply ducking, we are not handling, we are just replicating this part to the other parts. How do the exception handling is done in Java? As we discussed earlier, we have already discussed what is the extension of the Java file .java, and can you load constructor in Java? Overload, yes, it is called the constructor overloading. It is same as the function overloading, and the syntax is same only. And how to achieve the constructor chaining in Java? So generally constructor chaining is happened through the help of through the this keyword only. So suppose I have a constructor a, and inside this constructor I am passing the types like arguments and all, like what are the types arguments we can have, like integer and something. And another I have constructor b, and it takes the string type, right? And if I am using this, here I am inside this constructor or the class b, and here I am using this, and I am passing the types, what type of like arguments I want to pass. Then it will like simply jump to the specific constructor type, because I am passing the types only. So this is called the constructor chaining. So How to achieve the constructor chaining and what is the difference between super and this keyword. So generally constructor chaining is happened through this keyword, and super is happened like when we want to call the super class, but by the help of this keyword we cannot call the super class. So this is the huge or basic or huge difference between the super and this. Then let's move to the Python part. So how Python is interpreted language. So generally Python compiles or checks for the error one by one, or one statement after another statement. So these are the difference between compiler and interpreter. Yeah, I hope you know this difference. And what are the major difference between Java and Python? The dynamic typing or the name the typecasting is not possible in Java. Python is not possible in Java, but in Python it is possible. This is the huge difference. And other things are you can check. And what are dynamic typing, as we discussed earlier, what is the difference between list and tuple. So you can check. And can we store the heterogeneous data type in list in Python? Yes, it is possible, but in case of array it is not possible. There is a huge difference. Can we set store duplicate data in Python? No, it is not possible. So one question I just wanted to tell you, in the interview they can ask you that how to remove the duplicates or the duplicacy from the list, right? So first what needs to be done, first you need to convert the list into the set. That means suppose I have one list L, then I can convert this list into set. Set keyword you set keyword you can write, and then in the bracket you can pass L or the list name. Then it is converted to the list, and then it will remove all the duplicate elements, and it will only display the unique elements to you. Then you can again convert the set into list by passing this into list function, right? List keyword you can write, and then you can pass the set. Suppose set name is S, then I can pass and I can create a new list L1 or something I can create, right? So like this you can remove the duplicacy from the list. It's a easy process. People generally do some conventional steps and all. It's a time consuming. You can do this part, or that this trick you can follow. Then store duplicates. What is the list comprehension? So generally list comprehension is done when you want to do some operations or the specific operations on a specific list. That means you are just running a for loop or something inside this for this list, so that you will read the list elements one by one, and then you are doing some operations like 2x or something. I want to print. That means list like this for I in L or something. Then I can pass I square. Then I can again reassign this list into the another list. That means in the list comprehension one statement will be there only. We cannot have multiple statements. Then I am doing some operations. And we can store heterogeneous. Yes, this is done. And what is the difference between lock and ilock? It's easy thing. Generally in case of lock, like I can pass only the names and all, and also we can pass the index also. But in case of ilock, only index we can pass of the matrix or something, of the data frame or something. What is the use of init function, or the in Python it generally takes the signature only. And what is the difference between array and list? So as we discussed earlier, it is not possible to store the dynamic it is generally not possible to store the heterogeneous elements in the array, but list allows. And second thing is that it is not possible to increase the size of the array, but list can, in case of list we can do. And what is pickling and unpickling? And convert a string into the lower case. You can write the lower function like a dot lower or the string dot lower to convert it to the lower. And for the upper also you can pass dot upper, string name dot upper, and capitalize the first letter. A dot capitalize or s dot capitalize, you can write so that it will capitalize everything. And how to remove duplicate from the list, as we discussed earlier. How to calculate the occurrence of a character in a string. You can use, first of all, the string needs to be converted. The string needs to be converted, like you can split the string so that it will be giving you the characters. Then you can use the dictionary in order to convert this thing into the key and value pair, right? Then how to reverse a string. So these questions actually it is for the C and Java also, because I forgot to mention all these programming questions in the beginning, but here I have mentioned. So remember, it doesn't matter whether you belong to the Python background or the Java background, these questions will be getting. How to reverse a string, how to reverse a list, how to sort the list elements in Python or Java. It depends or varies person to person. That means the questions will be same. You can use any approach, take any approach, or take any programming language, or use any programming language. How to generate Fibonacci series, and how to check if a number is prime or not, or even or not. How to check if a sequence is palindrome or not. It may be for the string and it may be for the number or the digit also. How to calculate the sum of first n numbers. We can run the loop or something like to calculate up to n numbers, and you can use sum to sum, like sum 0, and you can add to the one numbers or the iterator. And how to check if a year is leap year or not, it's a easy question. How do mean by what do you mean by ops concept? It's same as the Java. And what is inheritance in Python? Same. Can you achieve the multiple inheritance in Python? Yes, it is possible. How to calculate the range and iQuery in Python? It's a easy part. Like you can use the percentile function to calculate the percentile. That means IQR 25%. If you want, then you can use the IQR and 25. Then it will give you 25 percentage for quarter 1, quarter 2 50, and quarter 3 75. And what is the use of map keyword? So generally map keyword is used to map a function to the iterator. You can check the in the Google, you can check for the syntax, and you can use. What are the global, protected, and private? These are the access specifiers or the modifiers. How to concatenate two tuples? You can concatenate by using concat. Then what is the data frame in Python? So Python data frame is just simply a tabular structure, row and column. Just you can call the or import the pandas data frame, or pandas module. Then you can call the pd dot data frame function to create the data frame. What is the difference between series and data frame? It's a easy part. How to create the data frame from the list or series. PD data frame, as I told you earlier. How to merge the data frames, it's easy. But how to calculate the length of a string? S.len, you can use len function, you can use to calculate. Then what is the use of split function in Python? So just simply it is used to split a string. And how to delete a column or the group of columns from the pandas data frame. PD dot remove, you can use to remove one. And how to remove the spaces from the string in Python? Again, it's a easy one. What is the use of decorator in Python? So generally decorator is used when you are trying to redirect to something. Why do you need to handle exception in Python? So it is same as the Java. If you are encountering any kind of like exception or something, execution will be stopped, so it needs to be handled so that you can complete the execution or terminate the connection, right? Then now let's move to the database concept, to the questions. What do you mean by relational database? So in the relational database, data are stored in the structural format, in the table on the rows column format, right? What are the types of statements in SQL? There are many SQL statements are there: DQL, DCL, and the DDL, DML, and the transaction control language, TCL. Then what do you mean by alias in SQL? This is a short form to the table name. You can use the short form so that it will be easier for us or the convenient for us to use these short forms throughout our code. Difference between primary key and the foreign key. So primary key is the primary key to our current key, and by the help of primary key we generally combine or join multiple tables. And foreign key is the primary key to the another table, and the foreign key is present in the current table. That means it is foreign key to the current table, but it is primary key to the another table. That means to be a foreign key, it must be a primary key to the another table. What do you mean by candidate key? So candidate key is generally a key which is able to or the has the properties to be a primary key. Can primary key have null values? No, it is not possible, because the definition of the primary key is that not null and unique. It needs to be unique. What do use group by and the order by clause? The definition is there, just simply to group all these things. What is view and sql? This is a rough work. You can use views to it's a tabular kind of thing, but you are joining multiple select statement or something and just creating a table or something, doing the calculation kind of thing, and we are just simply giving us the output. What are the various aggregate functions in sql? So the aggregate functions are like mean, max, and average, and also the count. These are the aggregate functions. What are the difference between union and union all? So union is generally used when you are trying to combine the multiple select statements or the outputs of the multiple select statements, but union removes the all the duplicates elements. But union all does not remove the duplicacy, it also fetches the data which are duplicates. And what are the joins in sql? The left join, inner join, and the right outer join. And so these are the various joins. You can see the definition and you can see the examples also. Like, let me quickly give you an example. I am running out of time here. Okay, so here if I have, these are the two tables. In case of inner join, just simply it will give me the all the common parts for the table A and table B. In case of left join, everything from the left table will be fetched, and for the matching parts only I'll be getting from the table B, and for the remaining parts I'll be getting null. And for the right outer join, everything it will be fetched from the right table or the right side table, and for the left side table it will only be fetching the matching part. That means if these are the just a second, let me create uh, these are the table and table B. For table B, these are table B, everything will be extracted from the table B, and for the table A, this part is only the matching part, right? So everything it will extract from the table B from here only, and for the remaining part it will be null, right? So this is the key difference between left outer join and or the left join and the right join, and also the full join. That means everything from the left table will be fetched, and also from the right table will be fetched. And what is the difference between what are the joins equal, and what are the maximum and minimum marks of each department? So you can select a department, comma, and a mean or max. In the bracket I can pass marks from that table, department or something. And how group by department. How to fetch the unique records from a table? You can use distinct keyword to fetch the distinct keywords and something, or the records. How to fetch the unique records from the how to fetch the third year's salary? You can check in the internet. How to fetch the student details whose name starts with P? I can select star from something or the table, where the name, like I can pass P, and then I can pass percentage symbol, so that it will fetch all these things, or the names starts with P. To get a student details who has the passed out from the school between 2021 and 2022, it's a tricky question. So thing is that many people does do one mistake here. So I am just select start from the table or the school, table name school, where the period, suppose the period stored in the database is in the form of like 20 09 2022. So if it is like this, then what will be happening? If this the column name is period. So in period I am just trying to extract the year, because we need to check the year here. So I can pass year, then I can pass the column name, then it will extract the year part. Then I can check if the year is between 2021 and 2022. So simply I cannot pass year. So if there is no column of that holds the year data, then only if there is any column that holds the year data, then I can use the year. Like I can check, I can go for the year, otherwise it is not possible. Then front-end development interview questions. So define HTML meta tags. How to paste the links to your HTML tags and all. So in the front-end development, they will not be asking you that much of questions because they know you are a fresher or the fresh guy. So generally, they will be asking you more from the backend part and the SQL part only. And for the front end, the first question would be how to integrate the front end part from the with the backend part. And generally, what do you mean by front end development or front end part? Like, could you please give you us an example and all? How do you separate the section of text in section of text in HTML, and how do you include or add the image or the links to the HTML tags, like what is the syntax? And if you know Angular, then what do you mean by pipes in Angular? And how do you ensure that a web design or the web page is a user friendly? That means what are the characteristics or the like the specifications it must have to be a like user friendly website? So as a user, what will be your expectation? You need to highlight all these points so that you will be able to understand what is the customer requirement, and you can convert this requirement into your the code and all. And how do you increase the web page performance? How it is possible? And if in a image tag, what is the benefit of the secret attribute and all? These are the like things for the first front end interview. So I couldn't cover the automation part or the testing part here in this video because it is not possible to cover like each and every domain here in this single video. So I hope it was clear to you. So this is the end of the this video or the session here. I hope this video was helpful to you. So if this video was helpful, then please let me know if I missed something, or if you want me to cover any other parts as well. So please let me know in the comment section below. I would definitely try to help you as much as possible because this is the real thing actually I am doing here to help you all to get your dream job or get placed as soon as possible in the IT field. So this is my main goal. So definitely I will try to like make another video so that I can cover the other parts also, but please let me know what are the things you need me to cover so that I'll cover in the next video. So thank you guys for watching the video, and